Hey, what's up everybody? The Destroyer here, and welcome back to another cast of the Rise of the Witch King patch 2.02 version 5.0.1. Today we have a 1v1 on Hordes of Isen II. So let's see who we got in this game today. We have, as the dwarf player, J.J.RaMBo in the bottom right. And his opponent, of course, is AlexisOnFi, who is also known as Cam, as Mordor in the top left. So I'll be referring to him as Cam. And the other guy can be RaMBo, of course. So yeah, RaMBo going for mine shafts to get his economy going, of course. Looks like slaughterhouses, of course, as Mordor is going to get his economy going as well, as you might imagine. Orc pit being thrown down for Cam. Looking to get his orc spam very soon. And looks like RaMBo is going for Hollow Warriors, of course. Not any battle wagons or archery range for this guy. It's going straight up Guardians. No, most likely Guardians. Could get some Phalanxes actually to creep. It's actually not a bad idea. The Spearmen are the good ones to use against layers, of course. But he's getting Guardians, so he's got his first battalion on its way. Cam has his first Orc battalion on his way, and he's getting another Orc pit. So he'll have 2 Orc pits to spam from, which would be good. He does have 3 slaughterhouses there. Looking to get a 4th over here. Oh, actually, that's a mine shaft. That's J.J.RaMBo's thing. So it looks like there is a undiscovered forward mine in the back of Cam's base. He has no idea it's over there either. So that will be useful for the dwarves, of course. RaMBo looking to get a surprise attack from there. Bringing out his first battalion of Guardians. We'll see how well that works out. Meanwhile, battalion of orcs scouting around. Looks like he is looking for a forward mine. He's looking desperately, but he will see that the orcs actually came from over here. He sees it with his builder, of course. Rally call being thrown down on the dwarven units there. Of course, that's the power he's chosen, and War Chant is the power that Cam has chosen. Looks like he forced Cam to destroy his first slaughterhouse there. He just decided to get rid of it instead of wait for it to be battled down and then destroyed. He is upgrading a Haradrim Palace to level 2 to possibly go for some Haradrim Lancers. This is always a good idea. Looks like Cam has found the forward mine though, and he will take that out post haste, as he does need that out of his base immediately. As you might imagine, Cam hasn't been able to go on the offensive quite yet, but I think eventually, as soon as he deals with these Guardians, he will be able to. Although War Chant and Guardians will be able to cut through these orcs like a knife through butter. Not much trouble there. These orcs are War Chanted, but still the Guardians are much, much stronger. Well, the Guardians still are going to die. They are actually taking flanking damage, so no deal. He does have access to the charge attack if he remembers to use it, but there's not enough dwarves left, unfortunately, to even make that useful. And the Haradrim Lancers do charge through and clean up. More orc spam on the way. That slaughterhouse being rebuilt. Looks like RaMBo's gone over here to kill the cave troll. And build a forward mine there as well. Now Cam is going for an attack here. Dwarves do have some Guardians ready to defend though. But there is probably too many orcs for the Guardians to actually take out in time. So I think RaMBo will lose this mine shaft. It's a very clumped thing of orcs here that are all getting to swing at once pretty much. Positioning, so he does get a better swing on it, and he will take this mineshaft out easily. Looks like Cam has found a mineshaft in the north as well. So it looks like RaMBo will be losing another mine, which is not a deal for him, of course. Less mines, of course, equals less gold, and it also equals less mobility for the dwarves. So you don't want to lose your mines if possible. Getting a second Hollow Warriors, interesting. So he'll be getting twice the amount of dwarven units, which is actually a good thing. Well, of course it's a good thing. As RaMBo is looking to get some dwarf spam, which will be a bit tough to deal with as Mordor. As the dwarven units can overpower Mordor units. Although the Lancers, if used correctly, will be quite useful here. they're not great for trampling Guardians. Guardians are pretty sturdy, even though they're countered by cavalry. They still take less damage than most swordsmen when they hit trampled there. Did they actually get rally called? No, they did not. They look like they have a rally call bonus on them, don't they? Clearly his rally call is on or off cooldown. Weird. No, it's not banished from the fortress. That'd be way too far away anyway. Ah, looks like Rambo's gonna lose in the forward mine, or his mine next to his base once again. Those lancers charging away. They do take out that battalion of guardians though, quite nicely. Meanwhile, an attack from RaMBo pushing into Cam's base here. A couple phalanxes and a couple guardians. So 4 battalions of dwarven units. He is splitting them up. He did rally call them. That's where he uses rally call there. And War Chant is ready to be used. There it is. Throws it down on his troops. So he'll have this engaged, but he will have trouble dealing with this as well. He can't really split his army up here. He can, but I mean these guys would deal with them pretty easily, I think. Although there is a lot of orcs, so it's hard to say. I think they will actually be able to defend them off. The pikemen getting out of position. They're leaving the guardians to their fate there, getting trampled repeatedly. They can do nothing about it. There's actually 2 battalions of Haradrim Lancers there. RaMBo is looking to get rid of this orc pit, though. And if he manages to do that, that would be a good, nice pickup there. That would slow the spam down from Cam a little bit. I don't think he'll be able to. There's enough fortress fire there and enough orcs to stop said thing from happening. Well, Cam has a small orc battalion here. Probably not going to get a whole lot done, I don't think, with that. He might be able to pick off a mine or 2, maybe. If he's quick enough. If he sees that mine, he could easily take that. I think RaMBo's still doing a little creeping. Destroying the warg layers around the map and the troll layers and such. Haradrim Lancers, of course, will be great here for harassment. There's no one in the mine shafts, so it's actually a good thing. You can travel around and destroy them without anyone popping out there. Now there's some guys in there, so he will have to be careful. And we have another attack on Cam's base a little bit. Guardian Battalion and the Phalanx Battalion, though, getting trampled pretty brutally by these Haradrim Lancers. Summon hobbits, though. Let's see how well that is utilized. Will he use Frodo's thing? He does use Frodo's Philo Galadriel. Thank you. Somebody uses that thing. And there's a free fear for you. That's mainly why you summon the hobbits, in my opinion. Not like the hobbits are that great. They do pretty good damage, but I mean, they do get killed pretty easily. But the fear is definitely helpful. And the last of the hobbits being cleaned up here. Frodo, the last hobbit to fall. He actually holds off against orcs pretty nicely, though. Orc warriors are not very good against Frodo, it seems. And there's his death scream. R.I.P. Frodo, you will be missed by somebody. Orc pit building more orcs, of course. This one's not. Nothing else from there. Cam seems to be doing pretty well, though. But, of course, the dwarves eventually might overpower him. There are some hobbits still alive here, actually, in rock throw mode, which actually are pretty brutal. They kill pretty quickly. These are actually from the inn. Not this inn, apparently. This inn. Which Cam is taking back post haste here. He does not want hobbits out in the field. Hobbits are dwarves with hobbits in the back are pretty powerful, actually. As hobbits do a lot of damage to units with their Silverthorn rocks, as I like to call them. And then, of course, you have the dwarven tanky units in the front. They're looking to do a lot of damage, and this actually could be it for Cam. As there's a lot of guys from RaMBo here. Dwarves using their charged attack, excellent. And that's why the players are good. They know how to use their powers wisely. And abilities, of course. Ooh, we got Gothmog from Cam. Gothmog should actually clean up some of these dwarves pretty nicely. You see, he cuts through them quite well. Although there is a lot of guys here. He does not want to lose this Rodden Palace, but I think he might anyway. Corsairs being brought out, though. Actually, a pretty good counter to the Phalanx, of course, as they are the elite swordsmen for Mordor. I guess they're elite, in a way. They can't be upgraded with armor or anything, but their attack is pretty high. Of course, they're all pretty fast, I guess. At the moment, I'd say RaMBo has a bit of an advantage. He has taken out a lot from Cam's base. Cam's lost his upgrade Rodden Palace, he's lost one of his orc pits. But Cam does have a hero. Gothmog, now level 4 already. Works near Gothmog, gain immunity to fear and terror, so if Gothmog's around, Frodo's Vial will not do anything. So that's something to keep in mind. Other than that, I don't think dwarves have any other fear abilities that they can use. All they have is fear resist, which King Dane provides, of course. But yeah, it's a RaMBo has pretty good map control at the moment. He's got guys everywhere. He's got Maidens fairly sporadically everywhere. Doesn't quite have one on the bottom yet. Doesn't look like. Not till you get to over here. So he'll probably want to rectify that soon enough so he can have mobility. But he is being quite aggressive, which is going to put Cam in a tight spot. Looks like he's going to pick off another one of these, and Cam goes for another hero. Interesting. Opting to get the Mouth of Sauron, which is a very powerful hero indeed. He's quickly switching him out of aggressive stance, as he should. He doesn't need to be in aggressive stance to one-shot pikemen, of course. Gothmog's still alive as well, so really, dwarves might be in trouble if they don't get any heroes to counter these heroes. There's a barrage there from J.J.RaMBo that does do quite a bit of damage. Just take out his slaughterhouse and a orc pit, I believe. Maybe not. I don't know what was actually there. But I did get rid of whatever it was. Cam rebuilding 2 of his orc pits in the back. Losing orc pits isn't the biggest of deals. It's really the Rodden Palace that hurt him the most. He's rebuilding his orc pit though. And he'll rebuild his slaughterhouses all around, of course. We do have a Prince Brand from the dwarves though. That should be useful. Prince Brand's always a great hero to buy when you're dwarves. Always, usually the first hero you want to buy is the dwarves as well. As you look at the minimap, J.J.RaMBo does have quite a bit of map control. He's got guys everywhere. He has the inn down here, which he's producing hobbits from. Also has the inn over here producing hobbits. He's going to have a large army of hobbits and dwarves, which is going to be pretty powerful. And the hobbits' rock throw is actually pretty strong against heroes, I believe. Well, they're not being focused down, at least. These guys won't be standing much trouble. Standing much of a chance here. As you see, they are cut down really quickly. That's why you need the dwarves in front to actually tank the damage while you use them as rock throwers. That's the best way to use hobbits. And they're throwing rocks at Mouth of Sauron, but not doing tons of damage. They're better against orcs. As you see, look at those guys just drop. A battalion of hobbits against a battalion of orcs. The battalions of hobbits actually wreck them. Completely obliterating them. We have a big attack on Cam's base, though. Although some chain land being thrown down, something's being summoned in. Hobbits once again. Gothmog is in the area. His Vile Galadriel will not do anything, of course. Unless Gothmog runs away, which he has. He actually still might be in range, though. Doesn't look like any of the orcs fled. Cam does have some archers, which is helpful. But you see orc archers. Yeah, actually, they do pretty well against the phalanxes, it seems. In conjunction with the swordsman, doing pretty nicely. Cam does have the stronger army, though. And of course, he does have Prince Brand in the back, picking off guys. Let's take a look at powers real quick. We have Industry for Cam, which is being used somewhere, I'd imagine. Couldn't say where. And of course, we had Barrage. He has 8 power points remaining. Cam has 9. He almost has a 10 power if he wants one. Or you can save for a 15. He already got the 10. And I think Cam should be able to hold here. He does need more archers, I think, and more swordsmen. he is getting both, which is good. Well, he does not want his orcs tanking the damage from these damn hobbits. They do so much damage.
The ring is lost.
He does actually have the Doom Pyres on his fortress as well, which gives a... Is it leadership? I can't remember what Doom Pyres gives exactly. But it does give benefit to his troops. It gives experience gain, at least. I know that much. Ooh, we got a catapult expansion from Cam here. Actually targeting down this mineshaft. Good call, as he does not want that there. J.J.RaMBo leaving his builder there actually does get picked off. The orcs will be finishing off his forward mine. Barricade expansion being purchased from Cam there. Always a good power to get. It's hard to actually get rid of these sometimes. And they end up doing a lot of damage. They won't do much to this mineshaft though. It'd be better to target units instead, but actually sometimes you don't have control over that. If there's nothing in the area of it, obviously you might as well just shoot that. Catapult doing its job though. He does manage to save this, throwing an industry on his base there, and Cam's starting to recuperate a bit. His force is looking better by the day. Although Dwarves pushing in with a King Dane leading the charge. And of course he does still have his other guys over here. There you go, Prince Brand and there's guys there. Big battle in front of Cam's base. See who's victorious. King Dane doing nicely, of course. Looks like Doubt was used. Reduces enemy armor and damage. Nullifies leadership. Always a good thing to have. Gothmog and Malthusarn are actually pretty weak right now. The Dwarves are cutting through the hordes of orcs and heroes from Cam. Really having trouble here dealing with it. Fortunately, he does have a lot of archers here. And he does have this catapult expansion, which is useful. Fortunately, Prince Brand is excellent against cannonering archers. You see a slam shot doing a massive amount of damage there. If you target the slam shot right in a big group of enemies, it will kill almost all of them, which is pretty brutal for you if you're on the opposing side. Catapult doing a little friendly fire, but also actually hitting its mark. That's the thing about Mordor catapults. They're a double-edged sword. As you see there, actually only hitting an orc. Not the best. But Cam is losing ground here. Dwarves proving to be a bit too tanky for him to actually deal with here. They're just so hard to kill. And this could be it for Cam. Doesn't look like any dwarven area is in danger here. He does have an entire army waiting to be thrown into his mineshaft. That's not ideal for him. Of course, he does have lots of hobbits and dwarves being pumped out. He does have a tower here as well. Is that the lone tower? It is indeed the lone tower. Someone's a lone defensible tower. Or garrisonable tower. I think Cam is in trouble here. A lot of trouble. Yeah, his fortress is going down. He's not going to be able to get rid of these dwarves. Although, I say that, there's the Pelbeast. Trying to use its fear ability. I think King Dane actually has the fear resistance, though. Doesn't look like his units actually ran. Prince Brand's the only one who can actually deal with that, although he doesn't have the Beast Slider arrow, which is unfortunate, as that does massive amount of damage.
Save me!
I'm spectating. Mordor there. Gothmog is very close to death. Looks like Cam actually does fend off the Dwarven attack. But there is another attack on the way, of course. Lots of men coming to support their heroes. And the Felbeast getting a nice hit on them. Although it didn't actually kill any. And he does have to be careful, Prince Brand. Very careful indeed. He did get the lava moat, which will help. Magma Culture would just be good, but whether he'd have the economy for that is another story. A Summon Worm would be good as well if he could manage to get one of those. I'm not sure. That's a 15, I believe. Oh, we got a Gloin out here and another army of dwarves. Roaring and ready to do some damage. Cam's fort is going to go down here, though, I think. A couple barricades up here, but yeah, it's going down. That's unfortunate. Cam does lose his fortress here. Dwarves' strength proving to be a little bit much. And down will go the fortress. So he'll have lost access to his powers. He's not dead yet, but I believe it's only a matter of time. He could come back from this. It would take a long time to actually save up for another fortress, though. He does have to actually keep the spam up to even keep up with the dwarves. So it's not like he can just sit there and save for a fort. The dwarves will be keeping the attack going, bringing more men in with King Dane leading the charge, and he actually does have Stubborn Pride. He gets a level 2, so yeah, he had the fear resist, which is useful against the Nazgul. Fell Beast rather. Glenn does have a slam, of course. Oh jeez, Gothmog is very, very close to death. Malthasarn is not far behind. Summon hobbits, he does take out one of the barricades. As those barricades drop, they will not be able to be reused, of course, as the fort is gone. The heroes can't get anywhere near because they know they'll die to those hobbits. Or even the dwarven units, for that matter. Here's the Fell Beast. Dwarven barrage going down to the orc pits over here. Does actually manage to destroy 2 and pretty much destroy this one. Literally has no life bar. So it should be only a matter of time before the dwarves can take out that. That'll leave Cam on 2 orc pits to defend off a dwarven invasion. Probably not going to happen, but you never know. But yeah, this matchup seems to favor the dwarves a little bit, I'd say. As Mordor just didn't really have much. Orcs weren't the best counter, it seems. I'm trying to think of what maybe Cam could have done differently, but I mean, he played Mordor pretty much the way you play Mordor, so I don't know. Dwarves just seem pretty hard to deal with, quite frankly. Maybe I mean, obviously he wants to be more aggressive. Cam didn't really get to be aggressive in this game. He had to play very defensively with his orcs, which is really not the way you want to play with spam teams. If the dwarves are putting you on the defense, and you're not able to go harass their farms and such, which Cam did, but eventually to a point he actually was not able to do so. That puts you at a disadvantage, of course. Unless you're elves, maybe. Elves actually do pretty well playing defense and then going on offense late game. That's kind of the way you play elves sometimes. Nazgul Screech, of course, doing nothing. King Dane is about to fall, though. There's some orcs and a white. How did Cam get a white? I mean, obviously, I don't even know, honestly. The Fell Beast can't just... Oh, the Fell Beast can mount and dismount. That's right. So the Nazgul got on the ground, turned a guy to a white, and then started attacking. Cam's actually going for another fortress, so it's possible he could have came back, but he would have to fight off this invasion of dwarves, which I don't think is going to happen, because he is down to 2 orc pits, one of them which really just needs to be sneezed on. And the orcs, as we've seen already, is no match for the army of the dwarves. Dwarves, of course, have Gimli now. They have plenty of time to actually get heroes. Fortress being cancelled there. Looks like he's going to move elsewhere. Getting another orc pit, of course. He's putting up a fight, but it is only a matter of time. Gimli one-shotting that orc pit. Of course, it was on no life there. It was going to happen. And he will probably finish off Cam here very soon. Yeah, there you go. AlexisOnFi has been defeated. So J.J.RaMBo takes the victory in that game. So well played to those players. Tough break from Mordor, that's for certain. Dwarves are very strong. So don't let anyone tell you otherwise. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that game. And I will see you in the next cast of the Rise of the Witch King, patch 2.02, version 5.0.1. See you next time.